You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragonball and Video Game Podcast.
What's going down, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy. I am back. This is Studio MacGyver, and you are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragonball and Video Game Podcast. Where to begin? Just finished watching episode 105 of Dragon Ball Super, and Master Roshi was the spotlight of the episode. I thought he was gonna. By the way they made it seem on episode at the end of 104, they made it seem like he was going to die. And technically he did, but Goku brought him back. I guess it's his key-based version of a CPR technique, if you will. But overall, I thought the episode was nice. Here's the reason why I thought it was cool. Because we don't get a lot of Master Roshi in the series after Dragon Ball too much. I mean, we got some in Dragon Ball Z and his little, quirky little things that happens or whatever. But in Super, I really didn't think he was going to have, any kind of spotlight, but they have been very generous with Master Roshi. First and foremost, letting him in the tournament and showing that just because he's old and, he's been surpassed by pretty much everybody on the squad doesn't mean that, he can't stop growing himself. You know what I mean? Like he's reached his limit, he's reached his peak or whatever. So, to prove everybody wrong, I guess Master Roshi didn't stop training. He continued to train, continued to get better. And as a result of that, he ended up doing some pretty good damage in this tournament, this episode. He took out what? 3 people. He took out 3 opponents, and yeah, man, he did his thing. He basically exerted all his ki on the last opponent with his version of an Ultra Kamehameha wave, and it basically kind of took his life from him, kind of like how Tien Shinhan would do after using his ultimate Neo Tri-Beam technique. But he was brought back by Goku, and pretty much the whole episode was about Master Roshi showing off his skills, showing off his ability, his leadership, and his experience, and how to apply those things on the battlefield. And it basically proved that you don't always have to be the strongest, and honestly, being smarter trumps being stronger, in my opinion, and he proved that in this episode. So they gave him love. It was pretty much his dedicated episode, and he did his thing, and I'm glad that they did that. Now, are they going to do that with Tien Shinhan? Probably not. I only say that because by the way it's been going, they've been pretty skimpy on my boy Tien. Like I said, it could be just because I'm very, very biased when it comes to Tien, but I'm always advocate for Tien. All the Tien Shinhan fans out there, you know how I feel. You know what I'm talking about. And I could be wrong. Like I said, it's not over yet. He's still in the tournament, so let's see. But I got my fingers crossed, but I'm not gonna hold my breath anymore, because every time I do, I always end up getting disappointed by the way they've been treating him in the Super as of late. So we'll see, man. All I'm gonna say is this. You give this guy his own dojo. He's got his own students now. He's a certified master. He's never stopped training. He's one of the only characters in Dragon Ball that has never stopped training. Everybody else has had some kind of break, or has been dead or whatever, and he's continued to train. So we'll see how that pans out, or if they're going to contradict themselves, but we'll find out sooner or later. Now, I'm going to let that go. because like I said, when it comes to 10, I can get a little long-winded at times. So I'm gonna let that go. But let's move on. Like I said, 105 was a pretty good episode, and I finally come to the realization that now, looking at this series, 35 minutes left in the tournament means nothing. The way they make it seem is they make it seem like, the match is almost over. The tournament is almost over. There's only 35 minutes left. And every episode, it's like only 1 minute passes. I mean, because I could have swore that the episode before, episode 104, they were saying it was 36 minutes left or 37 minutes left. And now at the end of this episode, I think we got 34 minutes left. I mean, yeah, so it's drawn out. So for people who are just watching it or haven't been paying attention, just rest assured it's going to stretch out for quite some time. I mean, they're going to take that 34 minutes and they're going to stretch it from probably the next 30 episodes is probably what they're going to do. I mean, I see this tournament lasting that long. It's definitely got that potential. Because like I said, they're about halfway through. In other words, everybody that's in this tournament, half of them are gone now. So yeah, so they're going to stretch this out, man. And they're probably going to get a little creative and stuff like that. And we shall see what's going to happen. But they got to start thinning out the herd and so the big boys can play. But that's just my opinion on it. If you guys disagree or if you agree, hey, you can always hit me up. I'm always on Twitter at Studio MacGyver. I say that every show. So feel free to comment. If you want to be on the show, just leave a comment, man, we can get to it. But anyway, let's move on and let's talk a little bit about pretty much what I got going on. I mean, really, I'll be doing a little traveling here next weekend. So, my podcast for you guys will probably come out late Monday or early Tuesday is when that next one will come out. I might skip 1 week, it depends on the time I get back and what's going on, but I'm going to try to get it out there to you guys. But I will definitely not be at my normal place of residence next weekend. This time next weekend I will be in Chicago, and then a few days later I'll be in LA. So yeah, man. But when I get back, I will definitely drop this podcast and try to drop it before I leave out to LA and get that handled for you guys. But what I've been doing since you guys last heard from me, pretty much watching Naruto. Yes, watching Naruto. I said it last week. I'm saying it this week. I'm pretty proud of myself right now. I have finally got over the halfway mark. As we speak right now, I am staring at my TV and it is on pause on Crunchyroll, and I am looking at the end of episode 252. So I am about to hit 253 this morning. I'm recording my podcast now, and it is my time. It is 3:00 in the morning. So, I'm a night owl. I'm an introvert. I like my little space, my little zone. I like to hang out, in there all the time and do my work and stuff. So yeah, it's my comfort zone. That's what I like to do. And yeah, man, I've just been watching Naruto pretty much. That's been my life. I am dedicated. I am totally committed to finishing this series as soon as possible so that I can move on to the other Naruto things. And when I say things I mean just entering that world, getting deeper into that world is what I'm trying to say. And what I mean by that is the games and the content that is available out there on Naruto. Like, I know I understand there's movies out there. I haven't seen those yet. I plan to do that after I finish the series, the Shippuden series, and then I also plan on going and starting Naruto as well. So, I mean, it's just so much anime, and I'm excited to be a brand new Naruto fan, and I'm enjoying myself thoroughly. And I also picked up the Naruto Ninja Storm Legacy, which is basically, I talked about, I think last week or the week before. it's basically all the Ninja Storm games remastered, and on the PS4, and it also includes Ninja Storm 4. So I tried to play 3 full burst a little bit, and I had fun, but I had to stop because I was approaching a point in the Ninja Wars where I was pretty much, that's where I was at in the series. So I didn't want to spoil myself and play anymore. So I stopped it. So I didn't plan on playing it anyway, too much of it until I finished Naruto, but I wanted to buy that. So I did that. And anything that, any anime out there that I'm interested in or I have love for, I would definitely support always to the fullest. Whether it be retail, whether it be, collectibles or whatever. So I'm definitely supporting Naruto now. I got to make some room now for some Naruto stuff because, like I said, I got a shitload of Dragon Ball stuff. So I got to make some room for some Naruto stuff, man. And, some of the guys might get a little upset. Look, we don't want to be on the same shelf, but you guys are going to have to get over it. I might make a separate Naruto shelf. I think that's what I might do too. I could also do that. But like I said, yeah, I'm enjoying myself, man. So I can't wait to get in these games. It was what I did get to play was very fun. Like I said, I've never played a Naruto game before, period, ever. And I also come to find out there's there's a game that a lot of people are playing on their smartphones, a Naruto game. I checked out a little bit of it. I can't think of the name right now off the top of my head, but it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty interesting. I like the way that the battle system looks. It looks to be like in some sort of like an RPG battling game. And it kind of reminds me of Dragon Ball Fusions on the 3DS as far as how the game is played. Now, I really love Dragon Ball Fusions. Hadn't had a chance to play it too often because I've got so much on my plate. But, I will definitely get back to that. Like I said, my 3DS is kind of like my trump card when I don't have, when I can't get access to my PS4 or my PS3 or my home console games or my computer games. When I can't get a hold of those things, guys, you know what I'm saying? You should always have a backup, either whether it be a game on your phone, or, a handheld system. You know what I mean? So yeah, if I see a cool game or a dope game that I, would want to play and it's on my 3DS or whatever, I'll go ahead and get it because, there's some days where you want to change it up. And then there's also all kinds of times when you're not going to be home and you're going to be away from the house. And that's when I, take that with me. That's when it earns its money. When the 3DS earns its money when it's away from the house. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I picked up also, a Naruto game. I'm very, I love a good beat 'em up, and there was a Naruto game that came out some years back, and I think the name of that, let me make sure I get it right because I don't want to mislead you guys or anything. The game is Naruto Powerful Shippuden for the 3DS. Yeah. I did some Googling on this game, and I was very happy with what I saw, and it looked very fun and very interesting. And it also had, it was starring one of my favorite guys as one of the main characters, Rock Lee. So Rock Lee, if you guys don't know, since I've been watching the series, is a guy I took a liking to early on in the first arc of Naruto. I just think he's an interesting guy. I think his the way he thinks and his no nonsense and never give up mentality, kind of goes hand in hand with Naruto in a sense. You know what I mean? And especially his drawback, not being able to, not being good at some of the jutsus and basically putting all his energy and effort into taijutsu because, that's the only thing he could pretty much do. So he took all his weaknesses and he put all his powers into his strength, his one strength, which was taijutsu. And he's a very, very formidable opponent. If you watch Guy, you would definitely understand what I'm talking about. Guy is a bad boy. And that's why he loves his students so much. So that relationship there, I love that relationship that they have. I love Rock Lee as a character, and he's one of my top characters in the series. The other one being yours truly, that boy Kakashi. He was bad as a kid. I mean, you can put him in any situation, and he's dangerous in any situation. He's that all around guy, and you can't take him lightly, no matter who you put him in there against. He basically has, you put him there with anybody and he can pretty much beat anybody. So whether you're over OP or not, you know what I mean? So you have to watch him, and everybody knows that name, Kakashi, man, the copy ninja out there in those Naruto streets. So yeah, man. But yeah, that game, I picked it up, and you know, I'm going to be doing some traveling here in a minute. So I'm going to put that game to the test and see what happens. But yeah, man, I'm finally buying Naruto shit, and I'm happy with my purchases thus far, and I'm going to continue to support the series. And I just want you guys to know that, yeah, man, I'm an open-minded kind of guy, especially now that I've seen Naruto, because, I mean, look, don't judge a book. Do not judge a book by its cover. Just don't do it. Naruto is becoming one of my favorite anime, because of the characters, because of the depth. Everybody has layers. Everybody has their own story. Everybody has their reasons for the way that they think and the things that they do. And it's excellent. And I'm very happy with the series. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, guys, over this past week. I've designed some more shirts. I'm working on some more designs. I think I'm over 40 now. I've been slacking a little bit on that, guys. I think I had 32 and now I have about 41. But I'm working on that. So when I get 50 stores, man, I'll start to push the store. But basically, you know, those designs consist of all things video games, all things anime, and everything in between. And when I say in between, I mean like, you know, comic characters and stuff like that. Those type of things, fantasy. So, yeah, man, you guys, when the store is up, I will definitely notify you guys, and I'll notify you guys and let you know what certain deals are, because there are deals where they, you know, right now they're $20. But there are some days where you can actually, get in and get you a shirt for $6 off, man. So, I would definitely be kicking that out to you guys when it does become available, and I would appreciate the support. Yeah, I think I even have, I do have the, Dragonball Videogame Podcast t-shirts there as well. And I will also be launching a Patreon account sometime in the future. No time soon, but it's just some stuff I plan on doing. I just wanted to share that with you guys. As far as video games, like I said, I've been just playing a little bit of a Naruto. But I've been, my main focus is on the series right now, trying to get that finished. And then also, everybody's looking forward to, at least all my friends are looking forward to the Dragon Ball FighterZ game coming out, man. I cannot wait for that. Android 16 and all the Androids are there. I mean, it's got a story mode. It's looking pretty good, guys. It's looking pretty good. So, I've signed up for the pre-order, hopefully, for the beta. I'm sorry. I hope I get in. I did sign up on the morning of, so I'll keep my fingers crossed. And if I do get in, of course, I will be recording plenty of video footage. And, yeah, man, putting it on my channel. So with that being said, I mean, this is going to do it for me today. I appreciate you guys for listening, and, I will be back with you guys next week. It might be a little later. I usually typically kick the podcast out Sunday night or Monday morning. So be looking out for the next week's podcast to be probably sometime around Tuesday morning, because I'll be out of town. But with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for listening. If you want to comment, if you want to have any concerns, you can always reach me on Twitter at Studio MacGyver. You can also reach me on the Facebook page at Studio MacGyver. And my Instagram is Studio MacGyver79. My email is Studio MacGyver music with a K at yahoo.com. And I'm going to get out, man. So you've been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.